Hi, I'm Jen Spencer, and this is Jen Spencer's 10-Minute Book Club. Hi, readers. I'm Jen Spencer. Christmas is in the air, and we have a great special Christmas 10-Minute Book Club for you today. It's going to be a little bit longer than 10 minutes because I've brought my 5 sisters in to talk about our new book, 6 Kisses for Christmas. If you comment or ask a question below, you will be entered to win one of 3 copies of 6 Kisses for Christmas, our new book, which came out today. Also, as an added bonus tonight, while we're talking, if you can guess in the comments the sisters in order from oldest to youngest, you will be entered into a drawing to win a $30 Amazon gift card. So listen closely because we might give you some clues. And if you're related to us or know us personally, sorry, but you are not eligible to guess. So I wanted to show you the cover for 6 Kisses for Christmas. Each of us sisters wrote one of the stories in this book. So here are our names: Jen Spencer, Allison Sharp, Alesha Thompson, Melinda Boyack, Andrea Gappmayer, and Juliet Sanders. And that may or may not be the order of how old we are. Anyway, I am so excited to introduce my sisters to you. I hope you have a really wonderful time tonight as we talk about 6 Kisses for Christmas. Welcome, sisters. I am so excited to have you all here. Everybody, this is a great day because my sisters and I are publishing our very first book. And this is quite monumental. Last Christmas, we were at a Christmas party and we were all sitting around and I said, we should write a book together. And I seriously thought everyone would say no. And everybody said yes. And I was so excited. So this has all come to fruition and it is so cool. So anyway, I want to remind you that for people who don't know us, who are tuning in, we are going to give away a $30 Amazon gift card to a random winner who can guess the order of who's the oldest to the youngest. Okay, this is not an easy task. I don't even know if my children could guess that correctly. I wanted my daughter to say, now, which one's older, Juliet or Andrea? Okay, so there you go. So I just want to introduce everybody. So why don't you just wave as I say your name: Andrea Gappmayer, and I'm Jen Spencer, Alesha Thompson, Allison Sharp, Juliet Sanders, and Melinda Boyack. Well, I'll give you a clue. A couple of us are pushing 60. It's really kind of depressing, but it's okay.
Wow.
Okay. Anyway, so I would love for each of you sisters to tell the readers a little bit about yourself. So why don't we start with Andrea, since she's there on this side. Tell us just a few things about yourself.
Okay. Well, I live in downtown Salt Lake City. I have a little 12-year-old boy. He's the furry 4-legged kind. It wouldn't surprise me if eventually he jumps up here. Maybe not. He's sound asleep. Who knows? But I've been writing my whole life. I've never written anything important, just for myself. And I love to write. And so I don't think Jen knew what she was getting into when she asked us to do this, because she didn't think we'd say yes. And then we all said yes. And all of a sudden she was like, oh, shoot, we have to put a book together.
Yep. But you know, it's so great. So I'm just going to introduce myself. I don't know if I ever have on this 10-minute book club, but I'm Jen Spencer. I write sweet romances and I have 6 children and 8 grandchildren. I may or may not be the one pushing 60. Okay, Alesha.
Some of us aren't pushing 60. So that's how you know. Okay, I live in Wisconsin. I'm the only sister that does not live in Utah. I have 4 children and some of them are still at home. So that's a hint at my age. I love to watch Netflix and read books and do photography. That's about me.
Thank Thank you. Okay, Allison.
I also live in Utah. I have 3 children. I have also been writing most of my life, but that's because I have a PhD in American literature. This is my first opportunity at writing fiction, and the thought of writing a kissing scene nearly did me in. I couldn't remember if I'd ever kissed before, even had to do it. I have.
Wait, you're married.
Yes, I am married. I have 3 children. Yeah, so then I practiced kissing.
I bet your husband liked that.
Yeah, he did. It was
Okay.
really a happy day.
There's so many things I want to say right now.
Will it reveal how old you are?
I
Now,
don't
that
know.
might reveal how old you are.
Okay, Juliet Sanders.
So I also live in Utah, and I am a diehard romance lover. I love to read romances and watch romances. I don't like to read books that make you have to think or work too hard to read. I just like reading chick lit that doesn't have much content, but it has lots of romance and a few good kissing scenes, nothing steamy.
That make you feel good. And I do have to say, the major kissing scene in Juliet's story is quite, it's good.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm
Yeah,
hoping.
well, it's evident that you like kissing scenes, so there you go.
Yeah.
And
And
how
Juliet,
many-
that's an honor because she didn't say that about anybody else's book.
That's true.
That's
That's
true.
true.
I could say so many good things about everybody's book. So, okay,
They
I
are a
saved
lot of fun.
myself there. Okay. And tell us how many kids you have, Juliet?
So I've got 4 kids and 2 grandkids. And my grandkids are beautiful and wonderful.
Very cool. Okay. And Melinda.
I'm Melinda Boyack. I live in Utah along with the rest of you except for Alesha. We wish Alesha lived here. I have 4 children. I also have one husband who's very cute.
Good.
But I didn't practice kissing with him to write my kissing scenes.
Who did
That's
you
okay.
practice kissing with?
Nobody. I didn't need any practice.
Allison, even I didn't need practice.
Okay, so this means I'm either early onset dementia or very young. Is that right? Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. I don't know. Well, so Melinda, her story, Melinda is a first grade teacher and her husband is a dentist. And it just so happens in her story, it happens to a first grade teacher and she meets a dentist. I'm not quite sure how she got that idea, but
Yeah, I'm not sure. That one just sort of came out of the blue. But
so you take your ideas from real life wherever you can get them.
right.
So I will not tell you Melinda's order in the family, but she is the tallest. And Allison and I are the shortest. Everyone else is quite tall. Well, I'm 5'7". Allison, how tall are you?
5'7".
And Alesha, you're 5'8".
8.
And Andrea, you're 5'10".
About 5'10", almost 5'10".
And Juliet
I'm 5'9".
and Melinda.
6 foot.
Woohoo.
Nice.
In her story, the first grade teacher is tall. It's uncanny.
I know.
And She has curly hair.
Yes. Well, and so in my family, so my husband is 5'9" and our kids are short. And when we get together with Melinda and her family, her kids tower over my children. You wouldn't even know they were cousins. Yep, like at least a foot.
Yeah.
Well, so I want everybody to just give us a really short rundown of your story so that readers know what to look for in Six Kisses for Christmas. I'm so excited about this book because every one of us sisters has a different writing style, and just, oh my goodness, it is so fun to see all these different voices. And I think there's something to appeal to every reader, but I think you're going to love all the stories. So why don't we start with Andrea again, since we started with you last time?
Sure, why not? So the title of my book, well, let me explain this. I hate romance novels. And I always have. And
that really makes everyone want to read her romance novel, doesn't it?
yeah, so I've always been more into chick lit, like Bridget Jones and Queenie and that kind of stuff. That's just a little bit more real. And so, Jen has always written romance novels, and they're very good. She's a very good writer. But she was talking about romance novels, and I said, you know what? One day I'm going to write a book called The Fat Chick and the Bald Guy. So I have written that book, and it's basically the heroine of the book. She's not 20, she's not size 2, and the man of her that she adores doesn't reciprocate those feelings. We'll just leave it at that. But it does end happy. It ends happy.
That's good.
Well, yeah, it has to.
He doesn't reciprocate the feelings yet. So it ends happy.
That's great. I love that title too. So it's so good. Okay, Alesha, how about yours?
So mine, okay, so I've never written anything before. I've done some editing, but when Jennifer asked if we wanted to write, I think I was the first one that was said, I don't think so. But then I was convinced, so that's all good. My book is set in Wisconsin. Obviously, that's what I know. So it's called Evergreen's Christmas Kiss. And it's about this girl, Evie, who has just graduated from college. She comes home because she doesn't have a job. She's looking for a job. And while she's home, she meets up with an old high school crush. And they both bring some different troubles to the table, but they fall in love, and it's how they kind of navigate through those troubles. That's great. I read it. I just recently read it again, and I thought, wow, this is really good.
He's really talented.
I surprised even myself.
Well, and one thing I love about it is it's kind of set on a Christmas tree farm. This girl, her name's Evergreen, and her parents run this Christmas tree farm, and so they named her after a Christmas tree. And it's so cute.
It's fun. It's got lots of fun Wisconsin things and football. I love football, so I had to throw a lot of that in. But,
oh yeah. Well, Wisconsin's a great football state, so
yeah, go Packers.
Yeah. Okay, so Allison, tell us about your book.
Well, my book is about a middle-aged widow who is absolutely sure she does not want to meet a man, and but she, I did just read this today, just for this reason, so I wouldn't forget. Okay, but she has two aunts who are sure that no woman is complete without a husband. And so they insist on setting her up, and the dates are terrible. And you'll have to read it and see what happens. Anyway, she has two delightful sons. And there is kissing. Oh.
That's good.
Yeah.
So good.
It's called Mine is called Wings and a Kiss. And you'll have to read it because wings really do enter in quite a lot into the story.
They do. And I don't want to give the story away, but she meets a guy who is a doctor.
Yes,
Allison happens to be married to a doctor.
that is right. And you know, I picked this because I knew I could write with a little bit of intelligence about what a doctor does. And I didn't think I could write about anything else with quite the same amount of knowledge. So when I use the word endocrine in the book, I use it correctly.
Good job.
Thank you.
Because I read a lot of books where it's not used correctly. That just totally bugs me.
It ruins the whole book for you.
It does.
Yes.
But when you
Ruins
read
the
Allison's
story.
book, Allison's book is not only romantic, it's educational.
That's right. I even talk about oxytocin in the correct way.
All right. Sorry, my light went out.
Excellent.
Okay, so all of your readers will have to look that term up on Google, but that's okay. You know what it means. That's all that matters.
Yep,
Mhm.
you do.
It's part of the endocrine system.
Thank you. Okay. All right, Juliet, would you like to tell us about your book?
Sure. So my book is called Stood Up by Her Best Friend's Brother. It's about this girl, Kate, and she lives with her roommate, Sophie. Sophie has this younger brother who's very handsome, and Kate asks him on a date, and then he doesn't show up, and she sees him in a kissing session with another girl. So for 5 years, she avoids him and hates him. And then at the end of that time, they end up being thrown together and have to go out on a date, and things happen from there. So it's a lot of fun. I had fun writing it too. I talk about things like spiders, tarantula spiders, and paintball, and a haunted house in Montana. So
So is that a real haunted house?
nope,
Oh,
it's not. I just made it up.
it
But I
was
thought
very-
it would.
It sounded
thought-
real.
I thought it would be a really cool story. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that, and it's cute. It's a haunted house for Christmas, and just that I thought that was a really cute concept. So,
Yeah.
well, thanks. Yeah, it's fun.
well, that's going to be fun. Okay, Melinda, tell us. I've already given away a little bit of your story.
You gave like practically the whole story away. But anyway, my story takes place in a school. My heroine, her name is Annie, and like Jen said, she teaches first grade. And so we're right in the thick of Christmas time, and suddenly something terrible happens, and there's a gunman who has invaded the school, and the adventure ensues from there. It's pretty exciting. I'm more of an adventure action kind of person instead of chick lit, so I had to have something more exciting in mind besides just romance. So
That sounds really intense, Melinda. That sounds great.
But
Yeah.
the fun thing about Melinda's is that she uses her first graders to bring this comic relief, and it
Yeah.
makes it fun with the excitement. So.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
cute.
wow. They
Cute
are.
dialogue.
Yeah. Yeah, Melinda's is more of a romantic suspense, but they're all contemporary romances. Hers is a romantic suspense. The rest are pretty straight romance.
Mhm.
This is a little scary because it's got a haunted house, but Andrea.
Mine's not straight romance.
Remember, she doesn't like romance.
Gotcha. That's all we're
I
gonna
don't know
say
what
about
we're
that.
gonna call it, but it's not straight
Right.
romance.
Thank you. Well, okay, so as you can see, we have a lot of fun together. When we get together, we laugh a lot, and we're 6 really strong personalities, and we just have so much fun. So I just wanted to ask you guys a couple of questions. Oh, I have to tell you about my story, huh?
Yeah, tell us about yours.
So I'm starting this new series. It's called Dandelion Meadows, and it's this really fun little small town in Idaho. And so the book that I've written for this collection is called Dandelion Meadows Christmas Kisses. And this girl, her name is Haley, and her ex-boyfriend Jake broke up with her when he just last Christmas Eve. And so they happen to get together this Christmas Eve. They're kind of thrown together. They end up in jail, and they kind of figure out that they've misunderstood each other, and it's just about how they are, you know, maybe going to be able to rediscover some love. So it's part of the Dandelion Meadows series. So it's probably the first Dandelion Meadows book you'll read, and I think you're going to love it. So
Good, it's cute.
thank you.
Except I don't think his name is Jake.
Is it Jack?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
You know, Haley's real boyfriend is named Jake.
So I named the heroine after my daughter Haley, and she's engaged to Jake. I think I did change his name to Jack. Okay. Sorry, everyone. I might have to go and change it now so it works. Okay. So I wanted to ask you guys a couple of questions, and let's just, you know, I mean, we can take as long as we want to answer. We have time. What is, and Allison said she didn't know how to answer this one, but what is the worst movie you have seen that you think everybody should see? Okay, so Juliet, have you got one off the top?
No, because usually when I have a movie I don't like, I don't think people should see it.
Okay. So I have to tell you one for me. It's called Troll 2. And it is the worst movie ever made, but it is so funny that you laugh all the way through it. That's all I'm going to say. Okay.
Is it animated?
No, it's this old, just horrible movie. It's so bad. Does anybody have one like that? Anybody else?
I loved Sharknado.
Sharknado, that's mine too.
Oh,
I've seen that one, yes, and it is terrible.
it's terrible.
so
But
worth
I
seeing.
also love Dumb and Dumber. I don't know.
Oh
I
yeah,
hate to tell
me too.
people that I love that movie, but I love that movie.
It is really funny.
I love that one. That's a great example. Does anybody else have one?
Well, I like Sharknado, where she is swallowed by the shark when she's pregnant, and on her hand is a saw. And then the next thing you see coming out of the shark is the saw. And then she pries open the shark, and then she hands out this bloody baby. And then she gets out of the shark, and she's thin, but she doesn't have any blood on her, and her pants are still on.
Allison, you ruined the whole movie. That's the best part.
I just, you know, when I gave birth, I couldn't wear pants, but I thought that was the most amazing part of that movie.
Okay.
Like Allison gives us a little bit too much information.
About
Telling any of you,
everything.
am I telling you anything you didn't know?
No, that is a good point. Okay, so this one, me and my kids were talking about this just the other day, and they were wondering which of their siblings they would call if they needed to hide a body. So I want each of you to tell me, which of your sisters would you call if you needed to hide a body? Let's start with Andrea.
Well, I would call Andrea.
I would call Andrea too.
Oh,
I wouldn't.
I think I'm flattered, except Melinda.
I would call Allison
Why?
because
I
you're the problem solver in the family. You
Oh.
would know how to solve that problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say Andrea or Allison. Allison because yeah, she just takes over and knows what to do. Andrea because she knows
I know where to bury
all
people.
of the underbelly.
Mhm.
Well, I would say I would ask Alesha to help me bury a body because knowing her husband and her kids, I'm not entirely sure she hasn't already buried a body. So I think that Alesha might
Oh.
have the experience that I'm looking for.
We
Okay.
do have the equipment, backhoes, tractors.
And the equipment.
Yep.
I didn't think of that, but yeah, she does. Well, when I thought about that question, I would also choose Andrea, mostly because Andrea probably would not tell anybody.
No, I
Like if you asked me to help you bury your body, I'd call the police.
Yeah, Andrea would be shocked.
To
I
help
would
you
not
bury
call
the
the
body.
police. And then if you got arrested and I didn't, I would bail you out of jail.
See? Yeah. Okay. All right. This one gets a little bit harder. Which sister would you be most likely to tell a secret to versus which you would be least likely to tell a secret to?
Well, I would say you, but you just said you would call the police. So
See, for me,
Ruined it, Jen.
both least and most likely is Allison.
you
Why
both at
why
the same
both?
time.
I don't know. I just because Allison's really good at keeping secrets, but she also like sometimes like blurts out things that she thought everybody knew. And, you know.
Like facts that you can't give birth with your pants on.
Yeah. Is there someone here tonight who did not know that? Please. Well, I guess if you have a C-section, you can keep your pants on, but
Maybe in Sharknado, she did have a C-section inside the shark.
And she did have a saw.
Yeah.
Well, does anybody else want to weigh in on that? I mean, there's no right or wrong answer.
I would totally tell all my secrets to Alesha.
Yeah. And
That's
I think
probably,
Melinda and I already tell each other all of our secrets. So.
yeah, I'd probably tell Alesha too.
I'm winning. Is there a prize?
No.
Okay,
Okay.
I will admit that none of you know any of my secrets.
That's true.
And that's by design.
Harley
do
probably
live-
knows your secrets though.
Harley
Yeah.
does.
I
Yeah.
bet he does.
He's so cute. And he never tells me anything.
No,
He's a very good secret keeper.
he's a good
Yeah.
secret keeper.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, okay, so here's our last question. If you are stranded on a desert island, would you rather have a lifetime supply of toilet paper or chocolate?
okay, this is really easy because you cannot burn chocolate, but toilet paper has multiple uses. Because if you had to, you could burn it.
Can you eat it?
Well,
My
I guess
dog
you
does.
could in a pinch, but maybe you want to get rescued, right? So you need to signal the ship, right? No, the airplane.
I asked one of my sons this question today, and he said, "Well, you could build a raft out of chocolate." So there you go. We go with chocolate in this house.
Okay.
So I would not ask Alicia's son to bury a body. I would take toilet paper.
Me too.
There are leaves, people, leaves.
Yeah, but seriously, you want something you could burn. Really? That was a serious
There are
answer.
leaves. There are leaves. You can still burn leaves. Well, I remember when I was pregnant with my first child and we took this prenatal class and the nurse told us that there was this one pregnant woman who came in and she said, this is weird, but I've been craving this really weird food. And the nurse said, what is it? She said, toilet paper. I've eaten a whole roll this week.
Oh, God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Melinda, you can eat toilet paper. If
Disgusting.
Maybe she put chocolate on it.
Maybe she did.
There you
So
go.
how about you, Melinda? What would you choose?
Could I just take one square of each?
That's it?
Not
Yeah.
gonna last you very long.
I'm gonna die anyway,
Wow, defeatist. Okay.
Mhm.
but I love romance.
Yeah,
Your book has the gunman.
yeah, that's true. How about you,
That's
Juliet?
right. I'd probably just do chocolate
Would you?
because, yeah, they're leaves and you don't have any matches, do you?
Do
I
you
don't
always
know.
carry one in your bra along with your extra change?
No, no to both of those.
Maybe
Do
you
you guys all
should.
ever feel like we always get too much information from Allison?
Now I know
Mother
where.
always tell you to carry enough money so that you could always use a payphone. And the only place you could carry it was your bra because you often didn't have pockets or socks.
Yeah,
There aren't payphones in existence anymore.
that's
Mm-mm.
true. That might
Yeah.
give you a clue to how old Allison is.
That's a
had a
good
lot of-
point.
We've had a lot of clues as to how old Allison is.
In fact, so if I were carrying change for a payphone, it would have been 25 cents. But for Allison, it would have been a dime.
That could be true. Your emergency dime.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Well,
could just put it in your shoe, Allison. You don't need a bra.
Well, what if you
Or
have
socks.
what if you're wearing sandals?
What if you're not wearing a bra?
Are you ever
Or-
not wearing a bra when you're like out in the street?
Well, when I was young,
I was young.
But she was young and she needed that 50 cents to make the phone call.
So what if you're wearing thongs instead of flip-flops? Because some of us called them thongs and now they're called flip-flops. And if you call them thongs, people look at you funny.
Yeah.
Song
good
is
point.
something else now.
Okay.
Again,
Well,
so many things I want to say.
Thank you for censoring yourself.
Killing me. This is killing me.
so readers, hopefully you've had some clues. You're never gonna guess who's oldest, or well, maybe you'll guess. Maybe someone is gonna guess from daughter number 1 to daughter number 6. We wish you good luck. If you guess it right, we will put you in a drawing and draw out for a $30 Amazon gift card. Anyone who asks a question tonight or comment in the thread below will be entered into a drawing to win one of 3 copies of 6 Kisses for Christmas. And we hope it's already available. It came out today. We hope that you will check it out and get yourself a copy. You're going to love all of the stories. As you can tell, we had so much fun writing them. Thank you so much. Thank you, sisters, for being here. And readers, we'll see you next week.
All right.
Merry Christmas.